Okay, I have a motion on the floor by Director Green, as stated. Seconded by Director Davis. We'll have a vote. Director Davis?
Yes.
Director Beatty?
No.
Director Green?
Yes.
Director Spinell?
No.
Director Sangster?
Yes.
Passes 3-2, 0 absent.
Thank you.
Thank you.
1095. What's the address?
1097?
1097.
I believe. Is that correct?
Yes.
1097 Mission, yeah. It's right on the corner there, right across. Okay, if you want to look at it, I can go over there with you and show you where everything is.
Moving on to item 10.7, purchase and implementation of district-owned laptops for board members by resolution 2025-06.
This item was requested by Director Green and Director Spencer to provide a cost for providing district laptops to the directors for use as directors to receive correspondence from the district in electronic format so that the directors don't have to use their own devices. That cost is approximately $685 per unit. $3,425 for 5 plus tax, and including the installation of all the software that we have to protect our equipment. Depending on how long it actually takes, it'll be between a total of $3,800 and $5,400. I don't know how much of the information you guys read or not, but currently we're printing paper packets for Director Green. Over a year at the current rate, that would be approximately $1,140, or 4 years, it'd be $4,560. So each device is paid for pretty quickly, within the first year at least. So there is cost savings. I don't know what the directors would like to do, or if there's any sort of direction.
Aside from the cost, I think that this is a beneficial idea just from the perspective of having district communication and everything else on a district-owned device as opposed to their own individual computers or tablets or what have you. It would also simplify any PRA requests should they need to be fulfilled. So I'm supportive of this. The director's comments? Or
Yeah, I'd like to thank Kelly for the math. It really spells out what we're looking at. And, for security issues, I don't ever want to have to turn my laptop over to somebody to do a forensic study on it. I'd rather just turn yours over.
Yeah, right.
So.
any other board comments?
Well, I think we're doing this for one director that evidently doesn't have a computer. I'm not sure. So I think it's a cost that we shouldn't have to bear. If you want to vote for one for him because he doesn't have one, I'd be all for that. But I'm fine with my computer. Every committee and every board I sit on, they have their own computer going back years. So I'm fine with what I've got, and I don't think we should be spending money on this. Except for maybe one computer for him.
Yeah, you only need 4.
Yeah.
So if this is approved, even if Director Smiley chooses not to participate, then we would save the money at this point, but it would be available for future. Even if we save that cost now, it would be still available for future board members if they chose to do that. So the cost in the future may be incurred instead of incurred.
The technology will change and it'll be trash in 3 years.
That's what you're saying, not just buy it now, have the budget available for it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if we're only buying 4 now, then that's fine. But my point was, in the future, with new directors, that would be an option available to them, and that cost would be incurred at that time.
Right. Good idea.
Any other comments?
Yeah, I'm for computers, but $600 and something for a laptop?
I went around and around with our IT company and.
Well, why didn't you go to Walmart? I got an HP down there that's a really good one,
So we have
and it was
to,
$269.
if you want to purchase your own laptop, you're more than welcome to.
Well, I mean,
However,
Bring your chicken bargain.
yeah, I mean, when you said $600, I mean, I'm all for getting the laptops for the board members, but you need to do a little bit of shopping.
So, if you let me talk, I'd
Alright.
appreciate it. But the point is that we have to have devices that can be protected to the district standards to meet current best management practice for the district. It becomes a district device. It's no different than this laptop, where I could go down to Walmart and I could buy something that can sort of do this work for a couple $100. But will it last for 4 years? Maybe not. Is it going to have the same protections that this one does in case of a cyber attack, in case somebody hacks your email, if you do something silly with it? Probably not. We have to go based on the recommendation of our technology provider. This is a much lower cost than what they originally proposed, which I wouldn't have ever bought that.
It is an Apple, right?
Yes, it's a Lenovo.
So if I'll offer some feedback from Mr. Davis. So in my role in procurement, I buy computers, many computers for the state of California in my current job. And our ITS approved units from Dell, granted it's from Dell, and these are on the state contract. The entire CSU, so 23 campuses of schools buying computers from Dell. It's tens, if not hundreds of thousands of computers a year, so we've negotiated a significant, maybe 60% discount. Laptops average $1,500 to $2,500 a piece, and small Optiplex computers are $600 to $800, and the regular towers are $1,500 to $2,500 a piece.
No.
At our negotiated rates. So $685 is actually fairly reasonable.
All right, you did good, Kelly.
Granted, these aren't
Got that on camera, right?
Picture camera roll.
Granted, these are not Dell, but still. So, any other board comment? Do we have public comment on this item? We do not. I would make a motion to approve
I'll second.
the purchase of, four computers. We do want to.
They just board of directors.
Do not want to. So I would approve the purchase of 4
And the budget.
laptops for 4 computers.
So we're approving purchase of implementation of district-owned laptops to allow directors access. So we will currently be buying 4, so the cost will be a little bit less, but it will still, again, be available
Yes,
to all board.
correct.
But we're making a motion to cover the cost of 5, so that it can be worked into the budget.
Yes. Do I need to restate that motion?
So we just need to approve the resolution as proposed. So
I motion.
Approve the resolution and direct staff to only purchase 4 at this time.
All right.
I motion to approve the resolution as written, but only provide 4 units currently.
yes.
I'll second that.
Okay, I have a motion on the floor by Director Sangster to approve Resolution 2025-06 and direct staff to purchase 4 director laptops. Second by Director Green. We'll have a vote. Director Smiley?
Yes.
Director Beatty?
Yes.
Director Davis?
Yes.
Director Green?
Yes.
Director Sangster?
Yes.
Passes 5-0. No abstentions.
Okay, moving on to item 10.8, discussion on legal fees.
So this was also requested by Director Green and Director Sangster to have a discussion on district legal fees. What I've done is provided a 10-year look at what fees have been and generalized activities that incurred significant legal fees from 2015 all the way to the current fiscal, the current fiscal year. Don't necessarily need to go through all of it. If you have specific questions, we can answer those. Basically, the different functions that we incurred legal fees under were the Public Records Request Act, General Counsel, the SMEA, which is San Miguel Employees Association, or the union, Steinbeck Legal, Human Resources, and there's totals for each of those for each year, total for the 10 years, and then I'll find a graph that kind of shows the difference between the two, or the different ones. If you have specific questions, I'd be more than happy to answer them.
If I'm reading the chart, the graph, in 2016, the gray line represents employee association. Was that the union deal?
Gray line,
Mine's gray.
It's blue.
Mine's
You
gray.
didn't get a color copy?
Oh, no, we can't afford that.
So on the colored table, the left column is green, which is the
General legal.
general legal.
Oh, there you go. God, I wish I had a laptop.
Soon enough.
The center one is Employee Association. The purple one is Steinbeck, and then the dark blue one is Public Records or legal, or HR legal.
Far right.
Didn't know.
So as you can see, we had a tough time in 2016 through 2020.
Yeah.
And the totals for 2024, 25, obviously, we're still in that year, so those totals are not entirely.
Let's keep them right there.
They won't be where they were in 2016, that's for sure.
Well, I hope not. Or 2018, 19.
Well, I got a question.
Purple
Yeah.
is,
That 2016, that's when that lawsuit started, wasn't it?
Well, 15, 16.
15,
2015, and that's when the lawyer fees were
Yeah, so it was
out of
actually,
control?
it started in 2014.
Yeah. Yeah,
Been a while.
been a lot of money. Wasted.
Years going by.
Is there any board comment?
comment or question?
Well, the question I had is what can we do to rein this in?
I think overall, we have been doing pretty good about, quote unquote, reining it in. We use legal for what we need them for contracts, for legal opinions. We're not using them for everyday stuff that staff can do. However, they do review some of our work. The stuff that goes to the board gets at least a cursory review, if not a deep review. But, we have human resources things, the attorney needs to look at those. If we have general questions that are of legal nature, they need to be reviewed by an attorney.
Right. What's the difference between HR and PRA and HR?
Because the numbers were so low, they didn't really show up. So I had to combine them so that they would show up.
What is PRA?
Public Records Act.
And that cost us money?
We were getting a lot that took a lot of effort.
From legal to furnish a document.
No, we do the research and find the documents. They determine whether or not they can be released or what needs to be redacted. In those 3 fiscal years, there was a lot of information that was being requested that wasn't easily transferred to the requester. Most things that we do now.
Were they other government agencies like, I don't know, who asked for that many documents?
I would have to look.
Director Davis.
Huh?
I had some.
A lot.
They're what?
Director Davis sent a lot of pay period requests.
Yeah, well, I got something else
I
too.
thought maybe it was the grand jury.
No. No, I,
During that time period.
talking about lawyers and so on. You're aware that I headed a recall several years back.
I was here.
You know how much the lawyers got? $15,000.
And they shouldn't even been involved.
They shouldn't even been involved in a recall.
No, not even for a minute.
$15,000.
Not for
I remember Michelle read off how much that recall cost the district. Doug White was sitting there, and went up there and I said, man, you got a pretty good job, don't you? Correct.
I remember that.
'Cause I paid for the recall.
I know, then the district shouldn't spend any money on
Yeah.
that.
That is a pretty interesting point.
Right.
Recall
I think we should look into that.
Directors, why would the district be bearing the burden of legal fees?
There was no action to take.
General counsel is the counsel of the district, so they are here to protect the district from anything that could happen. They're not protecting individual directors, but if there's questions on how the district can or can't participate in something, that has to be determined under legal review, not.
Yeah, but that's one question. That's not a $15,000 question.
But if you have 15,000 of those questions, then that's 50,000.
I think that
It was
it
a
wasn't even law.
recall.
I don't think it was
It
lawful.
wasn't public request. That's what we paid for the recall. I don't know if whoever was being recalled was making phone calls to lawyers and what, but it cost recall that I paid for, cost the district $15,000.
So I don't know what all was charged under that recall. We would have to go research that to see what was in there. If it was $15,000, I'll have to take you for your word on that. I don't know. I didn't look specifically for a recall.
It came right from Michelle.
I'm believing you. We don't need to talk
It was
about
on the
it.
finance.
Does Michelle recall?
You can pull the invoices, everything is billed, so we can vote. Well, we have them.
Well,
If that's something that the board
Pretty
wants to
significant.
know, then we can find that information.
Well, they know it now.
But I mean, all the line items, the exact, all the things
I
that
mean,
are back and forth or whatever
right
we
there.
did, you can always pull the invoices and look at them. They're detailed.
YouTube, I forget.
what, every discussion is detailed?
Yeah.
Okay. I'd like to see that.
So
You can come down and I'll be happy to show you.
So you can get additional information, and it's, the fees have been paid at this point, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
That's what it is.
Well, I guess it's not really a conversation you can have because you don't know what's going to come through the door next.
Okay, are there any other board comment or questions?
If I can make a suggestion that if you want to reduce current legal fees, because obviously we can't go in the past and reduce the previous ones, but if you
We
want.
can't review the $15,000 one?
I would be very surprised if Doug was willing to go back that far and do anything about that, but you could ask. But for future costs and current costs, our invoices are very detailed, and so I suggest that you review the invoices and identify the things that you want to discuss us potentially not doing or why we're doing it, or, and the invoices are really going to be the basis of any further conversation. I don't think looking at categories is really helpful.
I would still like to see the invoice for the $15,000 for the recall.
You can.
It wasn't that
I
long.
think she
I would like to
missed-
make a public record request.
You don't need to make a public
You
record.
can come down, contact me and come down and we'll be happy to go through find whatever ones you're looking for.
How about if you look for it and find it and then call me and show it to me when I get there?
I can do that too.
Thank you. Is that okay with staff, with the board, to direct Kelly to do that?
You need a second.
Yes, a second.
Yeah.
And perhaps, Doug would be
It doesn't cost us anything.
Yeah, perhaps Doug would be able to negotiate.
Well, everything costs money, it's staff time.
But, I mean, not having to bother the lawyer to.
I would think your office would be able to identify it. There's a very specific period of time that we can give you.
Kelly can, and yeah, I'm fine with that.
So,
Yeah.
we need paying an attorney to do that.
No, I want you, no.
Well, if you just ask the attorney,
Yeah, no,
you can't
no, I
ask the attorney to do
said,
that.
I said I would think that she would be able to. I did not ask her to do it.
You're free.
So we need public comment.
Yes. Is there public comment on this item?
Yeah, thank you. Greg Real. I'd like to know in this general for 24-25, Does that include a portion of, all lawyers getting together to work on the joint powers agreement? That, they set aside out of the budget, from the cooperative group 50 grand?
We'd have to look at the receipts.
And my other thing is, obviously 24 or 25, I guess now we need 25, 26, but, since you bought the church and you think you're gonna be a Pueblo, I think you need a bunch more money for the end of the next trial, which is in the first week of January, for the quiet title action.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Any other public comment?
Murray Powell. You know, it'd be helpful if you could put that chart up on the screen, Kelly. Hello? Page 347.
The chart?
Would you like me to put it on the screen?
347. Like you had it on this computer. I got it. Right? I just mean for other people.
I agree.
Yeah. So, anyway, I find it interesting, and I've been to enough of these meetings, and we've had these go-arounds about the Steinbeck law attorney fees, and they were a big secret, and supposedly the law said they didn't have to be disclosed, but they're all on here. So I appreciate that. The other thing, if it was me, with you guys, first of all, what's the column that says SMEA? Gotta drop it down here to see the top of the columns. What's SMEA?
San Miguel Employees Association.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay. So you had a lot of action back in 20 something here, 17 and 18. But on some of these bigger ones, you might want to look into those, not that it's going to change, but just to get a little more background on where some of this money's going. So I guess that's about it. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't catch on that last column. What's TRA again?
Public Records Act.
Oh, okay, because you have another column at the beginning that says Public Records Act, so I was wondering why, not very much money in it, but I was wondering why there's two different columns for that. Not a big deal.
Thank you, Mr. Powell. Any other public comment?
First off, looking at the Steinbeck, excuse me, of $1,074,000. About a year and a half ago, I asked what that amount was. I think the board was told it was like $840,000. And in fact, it was over $1 million at that time. Mr. Graywell told me it was over $1 million. And I said, oh, no, it's only 840 something. I apologize, Greg, you were right. And apparently, the information we got from the staff that the board got was wrong. That personally upsets me. Because really upsets me when we can't get accurate information like that. That's off by over $200,000. Just another thing that pops up to me, I'm looking at HR costs. From 2014 to 2019-20, there was zero. And now all of a sudden, in the last 5 years, it's $147,000. That just strikes me as kind of odd. What the heck? How do we go from zero to that kind of number? Just,
Oh, if only I could tell you.
just strikes me. But, you know, I guess it's just an example of trying to get good information. And this is the Steinbeck thing.
It was all closed session stuff.
Well, I was in closed session.
No, I know.
Back in those days, but we asked specifically what the number was, and it wasn't a million, over a million, it was like 840,000.
Right. I was talking about the HR part.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, any other public comment?
What, just a second? Yes. Mr. Baxter, you will sign that. So, Gregory, former C.S.D. Director, President, Vice President. Do you know what the Steinbeck lawsuit is about? Do you know why you're in it? Do you know what it's for?
I do.
Do you?
Yes, I do.
We're not gonna have a conversation, we better go.
Oh, that's right, that's right.
That's right.
You're right. Okay.
So, just a little history about the whole Steinbeck, which, you know, I go to all the meetings with Greg and Cindy Steinbeck and everything. So, many years ago, I owned some vineyard property, and the Paso Robles basin told me, the county said, you cannot plant any more grapes. And I said, you have no water. I said, what are you talking about? I have lots of water. Nope, you have no water. There is none available for you. And so we're going to instill a moratorium, no more planting. And I said, okay, well, I don't need to plant anymore, but that infuriates me because this is a constitutional right under California, that I have a opportunity rights to my water that are below me, mineral rights and whatnot. Then a little bit later, I find out that there is a class action lawsuit with Cindy Steinbeck that was joining a bunch of landowners. And basically, the lawsuit just states that we have a constitutional right to what is right below our property. It doesn't mean we can sell the water. We have to use it for a good, responsible use. That's all it means. So the fact that this quiet title is going to go through doesn't mean that it's going to have any more water for the district or any less water for the district. It's not going to matter to the district at all. You guys are wasting a lot of money, and I'll tell you right now, I know you're in it pretty deep, but you can tell your attorneys to stand down. Shortly right after I got to the board, I did have a conversation with Director Sangster, who was on the board at that time, and I explained everything to him of how the reason why I was in the Steinbeck, so he could understand. And he decided to still pursue this lawsuit. So if you want to blame anybody about these added fees, you can blame Director Sangster for promoting it and keeping it going. I think that's all I have to say, but anyway, thank you.
I wasn't aware that I was the sole voice for this board.
I agree.
Interesting take on things.
Cost us $1 million to defend ourselves.
Your comment is ended. Thank you. Thank you for your comment. Is there any other public comment?
Can I make one more comment, please?
It would have to be a decision by consensus of the board. You guys.
I say okay.
So,
Wait, we need the rest of the board to
Consensus of the board
consent.
for-
Not give one, you have to allow nobody else in the audience one more time.
If they need it.
take 1 minute, and if there's not to be a little longer.
Fine.
Okay?
Are you
I
speaking
just
for
want
me?
to say that, so
Okay.
there's a
Are you
six,
in this meeting?
I know.
Point of order.
We have a member of the audience. It's
Point of order.
And her too.
Point of order. Go ahead, sir.
Go ahead.
You're a member of the community to speak.
no, I just wanted to clarify, so there's a sixth lawsuit, you got it, not you guys personally, but the board has been part of 5 lawsuits, you lost them all, and so now the attorneys have all got together again, I think, and decided they can make a little more money by having a 6th lawsuit, and I think, like this lady was suggesting, is I think you really have to look at that and decide whether you want to waste more money on the 6 lots. So, it's just starting, and I think it's a good time to take a look and decide where you want to go with this.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other public comment? Okay, we'll close public comment on this item. Have you been given enough direction? Have you been given any direction?
The only direction I've received is to look at the recall costs.
Thank you.
Is there a different direction?
Yeah, we're on lawyers. I want to look into stopping all this litigation.
That's a different discussion.
Right, yeah. But we can have it.
We can't have it right now.
No, have it in the future. 2 people asked for it.
No. As I said, perhaps we can negotiate.
You want to discuss it further?
With
We didn't discuss it, or? Well, yeah,
Whether or not you want to go further with the lawsuit, we had this conversation.
yeah, I don't want to go far.
Last month, I kind of felt like my arm was
We
being twisted.
can't talk about that right now. If that's something that wants to be, or needs to be re-agendized, then we can do that for a future meeting.
And it would be agendized for closed session.
Yeah.
You want to have the discussion? I'll second.
Okay, so recall invoices, ask Doug to renegotiate those fees.
Yep.
Good luck to you.
At no charge.
Yeah, that's not happening either. And Steinbeck in closed session.
Right.
Got it.
Okay, moving on. Item 10.9, review of established district fees.
I gotta get my screen back. So this item again was requested by Director Green and Director Sangster to discuss current fees. The district charges a variety of fees for numerous functions and services to recoup costs incurred by the district providing those functions or services. There's a basic narrative for each type of fee, and then all the fee schedules are attached. I'm not sure what the specific questions are, or if there's specific things that you guys want to look at.
Director Green?
Problem with my arm.
No, this is your topic.
Oh, certainly. Have we looked into what other districts are charging? And are we actually, I mean, with my conversation with the fire chief, I got the impression that we were lowballing this and it wasn't even covering his time.
So we can't just charge what somebody else is charging.
No, I was
We have to
just,
charge something that is commensurate with what it actually costs us to do.
right, okay.
You know, unless there's some sort of study identifying a specific cost that we need to charge, as in the case of connection fees or, user rates. The conversation